thought she had lost her mind. I was like, what the world? But when she took them down there, those peanut butter and jelly sandwiches left quick. And I was like, wow, I didn't think about that. And I never thought about it. I didn't think about that. But today, there's a motorcycle group, and they're packing lunch bags of non-perishable items, and they're going to bring them to give them to the people that are there. The one guy who is there, well, we also found out about him. A few of them do have small jobs. And I asked them, how do they get to work and how do they shower before they get to work? I wanted to know. And he said, once again, Officer Kyle Moore comes by, picks them up, takes them to the Killeen Community Center. They take a shower, put on their clean clothes, and they go to work. He doesn't take them to work. They go to work. And then they come back and they living where they're living. Well, I give kudos to him, to Kyle Moore, because he's doing that for them. You know, he's helping them keep their job, and eventually they'll be hopefully moving on. But what I'm telling the community is, don't go and take charge over a group of people and give them this pipe dream that you can't do. And also, we need to stop working in the I, me generation of people. You can't have 4 groups of I, me people doing anything that will come together positively. If not, it's going to be a nightmare. And the people you're going to hurt are those that are already hurt, which is the people living in the tents. Those are the ones that you're going to ultimately hurt, because they're going to feel the brunt of it. And they're not going to understand how this happened, because they don't know that there are 4 groups working for them. They don't know that they're not looking at Facebook to go, okay, really, what? No, they can't. Most of them don't even have a cell phone. So they're not looking at that. They're not looking at any of that. But that's what's going on behind them, where you have people that are making decisions. And this I, me thing, like I said, you know, you had one group and then you got 2 and now 3, and then later on this other group comes on and they're going to do this. You're going to end up hurting the situation, and you're going to create havoc, and you're going to make it worse. And then also, ultimately, remember, you have Officer Kyle Moore, and that is his job to know the beat. They all know him. They all respect him, and they love him to death, because he's been real with them. Those who needed bus tickets to go home, he has got the money together through volunteers and different groups to get them the bus money to go home. So he's sent some home, because they had a place to go. They just didn't have a way to get there. So he's done that. He's got that going, which is fantastic and great, because that's what we want too, some of them to go. So he's working on that. So he's doing a whole bunch of things for them, through talking to them. He's not doing things for them based on, I'm a police officer, it's my job, this is what, and telling them what he's going to do. No, he's talked to all of them. He knows them very well, as though they're family members. And he knows who needs to help. And he knows who is homeless and might have to be homeless due to their situation, such as the one guy who's, like I said, a sex offender. And you got plenty of them that are. No, they can't move in where everybody else moves in. They can't. So they have to be identified. How many of them are going to tell you who they are? But Officer Moore would know. So I would lead toward, if anybody wants to know anything or you want to talk to anybody there, first of all, go yourself. Now, the one thing I'm going to say is, don't be the one who walks all through the tents. I wasn't going to do that, because even though they're there, and yes, they are people, I don't know what's going on with them. I have no clue who's the nut, because believe me, there's a nut up in there somewhere. It's got to be. I don't know and I don't know the sanitary conditions. I don't know those things. So I'm not going to go walking all through the tents. But as soon as we walked up, you know, like I said, the guy came up to us, and then 2 ladies came up to us and realized that, okay, you know, like I said, they recognize Shirley, because they've seen her before on the city council, and some of them recognize her just because they've seen her before. So they came up to her to find out what we wanted and what we wanted to talk about. Luckily, we asked them that evening. They said it was hot, they were thirsty, they didn't have anything to snack on or whatever. So Shirley go, okay, let's go. So me and her went to HEB, and we had a basket of watermelons. And you have no idea how weird we looked with a basket of watermelons. We didn't think we looked strange with them. We really didn't. We just had a basket of watermelons, because we know that watermelons are juicy, refreshing, and would have worked, because we just bought enough for all of them, not to have a watermelon, but make sure they all had some. But you know, the nice thing is, when we were in line, this guy looked at us. He was looking at the watermelons in the basket. He looked at us. He said, what y'all doing with all those watermelons? We said, we're taking them back over to the homeless shelter to give them for the evening. You know what he said? He said, I got y'all. I'll pay for it. We're like, wow. Okay. And his name is Devin Smith. I told him I was going to mention his name, but he paid for the water meat. I'll pay. I got y'all. So he paid for the water meat. We took him back down there to them, but that's something that we did because guess what we did? We talked to them. We didn't talk to these organizations to find out all this middleman stuff. No, we ain't do all that. It was too much work. It's too much work. And like I said, if I'm ask you what you need, I need to come to you. I don't need to go through a group of people who assuming that they know what you need. And they, number one, biggest point is they never been homeless. See, so they can't tell me nothing. So what I'm saying to you is this: if you want to help them, go help them. If you want to know what they need, go ask them. Go down there and say, what do you need? Do you need to walk all in between the tents and go to the table that they got set up with the chairs around it? No. As soon as you walk up, somebody's going to walk to you because they're guarding each other. They are guarding. Now, listen to me. Not the organizations. They're guarding each other because they know each other. They're for them, they are a family of 30 people. For them, they're a family of 30 people. So as soon as you walk up, they're going to walk to you because they're going to realize that you're not there. You don't belong there. So they're going to stop. But if you want to know what they need, first of all, I'll tell you what they need. They need non-perishable foods. Plain and simple. You got to remember, this weekend through the next week, the temperature is going to be in the 90s. They need non-perishable foods. That's what they need. So if you want to bring them something that's not going to perish. Bring them, chips, cookies. You'd be surprised how much those things are loved and needed and cherished. But those are the simple things you can bring. If you bring a sandwich, I said a friend of mine about peanut butter and jelly. Hey, guess what? Peanut butter and jelly will last longer than a bologna sandwich but the bologna will go bad because it's meat, but the peanut butter and jelly, it's not just going to last a week, but it's safer in the heat than it is that bologna or whatever sandwich you're going to make for them. So take them something that's non-perishable. Don't take them any clothes because remember, they live in a tent. They don't have anywhere to put the clothes. They don't have anywhere to, to fold the clothes up. They don't have anywhere to wash them. So giving them clothes is not exactly, it's a good idea if they had a place for them, but they don't have a place to put them. So giving them clothes is not going to do them any good. It's going to load down and more things that they'll have to carry around. And then there's more things that they will have to leave whenever the situation changes. So clothes aren't it. Hygiene things, yes, they do need hygiene toiletry items. They need those. But then again, I had to ask them. I asked the lady there. She goes, we need hygiene things. I was like, okay, we can get this. She goes, stop, wait. We're like, whoops. Okay, what? She says, for the women. Something we didn't think about. She said, don't get them anything that will make them smell good. When she said that, I was confused as I don't know what. At that point, I was confused. And I know I looked confused because I said, do what? She said, don't get us anything that smells good. So she looked at us and we're looking at her, trying to figure out we figured we missed the point. We did. I know I had missed the whole point of what she said. And then I said, why not? She said, listen, she said, they're homeless. I said, yeah. She said, if they smell good, the other men will know that they, shower, change. She said, and they'll most likely get raped. Okay, when she said that, I was like, whoa, I didn't know that. I didn't think of that. But once again, I wouldn't think of that because I'm not homeless. But she let us know that real quick. We're like, oh, okay, all right, okay, and like I said, that blew me away. I was like, oh, okay. So I had to reframe my brain real fast, real quick. Okay, gotcha. All right. She goes, well, she said, I didn't mean to get y'all. She said, y'all not upset? I'm like, no, we're not upset. It's just the fact that we didn't think of that because we've never been homeless. I said, you got to remember, you're teaching us. I said, we're not teaching you anything, except for the communities behind you. I said, but you're teaching us something that we can go tell other people, hey. I said, because we women think you should smell good. We didn't know that could cause you a problem. I said, but now that we all know that this could cause you a problem, we can fix that real easy. That's the easy fix. I said, but it takes you to tell us, not for us, because, like I said, when she said that, I was like, so why not? We're women. What? I was into, she's got to be kidding. Why she say this? And then when she explained it, I'm like, oh, okay. And she said, when we bring them clothes for the homeless, she said, don't iron them and make them look nice. We're like, because it makes you susceptible to rape. She goes, yes. We want them balled up. We want them wrinkled. We want them looking, like they haven't been ironed in a year. She said, we want them to look like that so that we can blend in with everybody else that's homeless. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. So she gave us the whole lesson in a few minutes. In a few minutes, we learned a whole lesson, something that we would have never known. But you know what? I put on my Facebook page, hey, listen, if you're going to take something down there for the women, their hygiene packets or whatever you want to take, make sure that nothing has a scent to it, because like I said, that was important. We didn't know. We just thought we were doing something. But then again, we had to learn, and the only way to learn is through talking to them. The organizations and the groups, they don't know that. Why not? Because they're telling the people what we're going to do for you instead of asking them what you need. Like I said, the one lady came to us and she told us, the clothes and the hands, toiletry items. We're like, okay, we got you. Okay. All right, not a problem. The guy, he came up to us telling us, this is what we need, underwear. The lady who's telling us, okay, we need underwear. Like, okay, those are direct things that we need to know you need. Because if not, we'll bring things that we think you need and you actually don't. So if you're out there and you want to help them, you want to make sure that they have what they need, please do that. 1, go to them. Ask them. 2, I just told you, they need non-perishable items. Don't bring any more water right now because, oh my gosh, they got too much water out there. But ask them. And by all means, please do not form another group to go down there and tell them what they need and what they want and what you're going to do. Because remember, they already got fed a line of mess when the when the shelter closed. Remember that. Remember they already got fed that. So let's not refeed them a hope and a dream that we can't do. Such as I told you, the lady who wants to do the duplex or apartment for the military. She thought of everything. She sure did. Let's get a building and put them in it. Till I bought up the electricity, the water, the food, furniture. After that, she looked at me like, she gave me the deer in the headlights look. And I knew she would have. I knew that. I was waiting on it. But the point is, I had to go back and make her remember, listen, it's more than the key going through the door. Second, how long they going to be able to live there? I said, that's another part. Because remember, they just got thrown out of one place. They don't need to be brought to another place and thrown out again. Because you're abusing those who've already been abused once. So we can't do that. Even with the people that aren't military, that someone's also looking for the same thing, a place for them. Same thing. If you're going to put them in a place, same thing. Who's going to pay the electricity? Who's going to pay the water? Because I guarantee the person who owns it, they're not going to pay it. The person who owns that building, they're not going to pay it. Because guess what? You got to remember, the first time you moved out on your own, electricity, you didn't know. Have no clue what it. If you were in Texas, you ran that air conditioner like you, as who? Yes, I'm stay cool. Electric bill high as I don't know what, because you didn't realize how much it was costing you to use that much air. Water. Hey, take a bath every day, all day, every 3-4 times a day. So you got to remember those things of who's going to do these things once you put the people in there. And like I said, she didn't. The other group that's talking about getting a place for them to stay, and they're talking about using empty buildings or apartment complexes or fourplexes that are no one's lived in. But they got to remember, you got to have a plan for that. You have a plan. You have to have a plan to get them once they're there. You need to have a plan of once they're there, how to get them to continue and to be there. I can't put you somewhere without a plan to let you stay and move forward. Then again, what am I doing? I'm abusing you. I am abusing you again, because I'm giving you this false hope of something that can't happen, won't happen, and not going to happen. So what I'm saying is please do not form another group. You got 4, and that's crazy. They're all on Facebook. One, you got 2 of them you got to join. I'm like, really? I got to join the Facebook page just to figure out what you're doing. Really? Wow, it's not that important. It's nothing, but it's something that I've been following because, like I said, I am the one who went down there and talked to them. Me and Shirley Fleming went down there to talk to them because I refuse to listening to you to tell me about a group of people that you know nothing about. But we do that. So you know what? Let's stop doing that. Let's go ask them directly what they need. And please do not form another group. Don't become a spokesperson for a group of people that you don't know about. Don't become their spokesperson. And like I said, some of them are sex offenders, who are another category. You have some that are that are felons, another category. So you gotta be careful of who they are that you're helping. Not to say they don't need help, but there's a slightly little different than everybody else. And you don't want to commingle people that should not be commingled with. Also, we got to look out when I was there, we're leaving, but everybody knows I'm the curious one. No, what I am, I'm the curiosity person. White truck, pickup truck pulls up, and he's sitting there for a few. Then a girl gets out with a little soda from a fast food place. And where did she go? Straight to a tent. You know what I'm thinking of where she was and what was going on. And she went back to the tent. I'm like, okay, all right, fine. And he didn't, I guess, when he looked up and saw the three of us, and by the three of us, the way we were dressed, we weren't homeless. He took off I don't know what. I think he took off so fast, if he could have burnt all his tires off, he would have, because he didn't realize we were watching him. We weren't watching her. We were watching him, but we know exactly what was going on. So how much more of that is going to be going on? How many much? Because the women there, they're very vulnerable. Yes, they are. They're vulnerable. They want some money. And if they got to give up their body for some money, some of them would do that. It's money. It's a need. So some of them would do that. But how many of them are going to get abused during that? We talked to Officer Morgan, and he said they can't be raped or whatever on the grounds because there's cameras there and those cameras stay on. So that was a great relief, but there's no cameras when they walk off. So I said he parked, if you know where the homeless shelter is, he parked closer to 10th Street, so that he would have been out of camera view, but he parked over there. And like I said, we was watching, what is he doing here? He didn't get out. Well, what is he doing here? But she got out. When she got out with that little soda in her hand, we're like, oh, wow. And she walked straight over there to her little tent and sat down. Was like, okay, we figured that out real quick. And, those are things might happen, but we actually saw it. So we can't say we think it's happening. You knew exactly what that was. It was too obvious to know. You can't say, oh yeah, he took her to McDonald's. No. So, and her little soda, and not to say what, but she wouldn't realize, but the soda gave her away. The little soda and going back to the tent, that was like, okay, yeah, we know it happened for that one. But how many times is that really happening? How many times has he been there to pick up whoever? That's something that we need to think about and what's going on. No, we can't educate anybody about that because we're not in control, once again, of the people. But some of those things are going on, and we have to be mindful of that. So like I said, if you go down there and talk to them, don't walk all up in there where the tents are, because you don't know what they have. Somebody can have something that we don't want to catch. And not saying that they're filthy, but let's put it this way. They haven't had a bath in who knows when. They're living in a tent, which is on the ground. It's been raining, bugs, and anything else. So be safe. But like I said, as soon as you pull up, park, and walk up, somebody's gonna come to you, and they're not gonna be mean to you. They're gonna go, hi, how you doing? Who are you? And which is great, which is good, because they're taking care of themselves. But like I said, let's be mindful. And if you want to help them, go down there and ask them what they need. If you want someone to tell you, I just told you they need non-perishable items. I told you the women, don't bring them anything with a scent to it. And I'll say very well, if any young boys, don't bring them anything with a scent to them either, because they're just as vulnerable as the females are. So let's be mindful, and please don't form any more groups to assume that we're going to help them do anything. Just let's not do that. Like I said, we wouldn't want anybody to govern over us. We really wouldn't. We would fight that. So let's do the same thing for them with the same respect. Don't go around telling people what they need based on the fact that you think you know because you know. No. Tell people what they need based on the fact that you went down there and asked them, that you actually talked to somebody who, came up. Like I said, when we pulled up, a guy came out. He talked to him, then he went and got two other ladies. He called them over, and like he knew everybody there, but to talk to us also. We asked were any kids there, and he said no. The families, Officer Moore had got the families a place to stay, so they actually have a safe place to stay. And the other thought is, I don't know if everybody knows, but Montrose is no longer the Clean Housing Authority. It's not owned by HUD anymore because they have a new one. They have the new one over there by Christian House of Prayer in that area. So they have a new one over there. So the one Montrose now is called Montrose Housing Development. Those apartments are going to be redone because they're old as dirt. So they're going to have to be refurbished, you might as well say. And once they do, they're going to become low-income housing. Once that begins, you'll have some of the people that are homeless will be able to move into some of those because it's going to be for low-income housing. Like I said, it will no longer be HUD. HUD does not own that place anymore, and HUD hasn't owned it in over a year. So it's not the same as it was before. So it's its own standalone place. Like I said, it's Montrose Housing Development. So that's another solution, which is a long time solution, but it's a solution because it won't be one temporary. It will be permanent. You know, when they move in there, they will be permanently there. And they'll know that they could turn the key to their own place, and not, you know, turn the key and end up nowhere. So that's the solution that's coming. They do have some of them that are ready because I don't know if you remember, but there was a fire there 2 years ago. So a lot of them had to be redone or refurbished or however you call it, had to be reconstructed so that they're livable again. Right there now you have 3 residents there, and that's because they can afford to live there because it's low income. So that's what Kyle Moore's pushing for, and that's what he's waiting for, because that way, like I said, it won't be a temporary, it'll be a permanent place for them to live, and it will help them get on their feet. Another thing, like I said, their IDs. So that some of them need IDs, and Kyle Moore's been helping them get their IDs, their birth certificates, and all those things. Because as you know, when you're homeless, those things, you don't have a permanent place to put your stuff. You don't have that place, that structured building or your house or your car. You don't have that place to hold those things. So 10 to 1, due out of time of going from here to there, pushing the cart or whatever, you're going to lose them. So those things aren't readily available to them. But that's what I want to talk about as far as the homeless. Because like I said, you got too much going on. You got people that want to help. So stop tapping into the organization saying, what do you need? And just go ask yourself. Or once again, I'll say it again. You want to know, just take something that's non-perishable down there for them. Do not assume that you are the expert knowing all about homeless unless you've been there. If you've been there, then fine. You can talk about it. If you haven't been there, be quiet. Because I'll say, I am not homeless, never been homeless, and I'm always open to learn. And the lady and the guy taught us more than we'll ever know. You know, he was straightforward. And the ladies, when they talked to us, told us stuff that we didn't know. So we were open to learning. And once we learned, we began to spread the word. And like this on my Facebook page, what's needed and what's not needed, and how we can get this done. But you know what? Let's just get it done. You want to help them? Go find them. Go talk to them. You know where they are. Don't be afraid to talk to them. Just do not walk up in the tents where they all are. I'll say don't. I'm not saying, you better not, but I would, and I wouldn't tell anybody else to go there. But as soon as you pull up and get out of your car, they're going to come over because they recognize whether you're there or not. It's a lady there who had foot surgery. Her foot is supposed to be elevated. Well, we know that's not going to happen because she doesn't have her own place, so her foot isn't elevated. It is wrapped, and she's going back and forth to the free clinic to get it treated and looked at and everything like that. But she's there. Somebody is supposed to take her. I think yesterday there was somebody that was supposed to go down there and rewrap her foot for her and make sure that, it's healing as best as possible. Can't say it's going to be 100% because she's still living there in the tent. So we don't know about the 100%, but it's going along just as well. And hopefully she'll be okay. So that's my spiel on the homeless shelter, of what they need, and the fact that we're, assuming things that we don't know nothing about. And also let you know that sometimes too many people can make something that's going along at a rate it should. We can make it worse. And when we make things worse, we cause mistrust in the people that we're trying to help. So what's going to happen eventually, if this continues to be a nightmare, is the people down there going to form a mistrust. And rightly so. because you got too many people telling you what to do, what's going on, and stuff like that. So I'm going to close on that subject because I think I've informed us enough, and I've beat us up enough, and gave us information that we didn't have. And like I say, any other information, you can go to my Facebook page and talk about it. You can go to Community Connections, which is my other Facebook page, and I'll put on there what's needed and what's going on. The other organizations, if you go for those, you'll be confused as everything, because like I said, I looked at all 4 of them yesterday. I'm like, this is confusion. And luckily that I didn't have to follow it or look at it, but yeah, it's confusion. It looks totally of a nightmare. You'll see all these takeover people, and they're taking over nothing. But now I want to talk about an upcoming event. The month of July 19th and 20th, we're going to have a conference here, and it's No More Violence Conference. In fact, last year it was in Killeen too. The No More Violence group was a nonprofit organization. Every 2 years they have an event in the same city for 2 years. So last year was here. This year it's going to be here. The next year for 2 years it'll be somewhere else. It's going to be the 19th and 20th, and it's going to be at the Killeen Community Center. On Friday, the 19th, there's going to be a basketball game between the police department and a bunch of youth. So, the police department's going to cheat, and they're going to bring other people to help them play. We know that, because we know the police officers can't be in that good of a shape. It's just a throw out to the police department. But anyway, they're going to play, the kids are going to play against the police department. And last year was a lot of fun. It was cute, because the police officers were trying to cheat a little bit there. But it was nice, and it was open to the public. It is free. No More Violence Conference. You can go to Facebook to No More Violence, and your kids you can register for your kids to attend the workshops. So Friday they're going to have, like I said, a welcome basketball, the basketball game at Killeen Community Center, and then they're going to have a small session on Saturday at the Killeen Community Center. Once again, there's going to be there's going to be a breakfast, first of all. So it's going to be a breakfast. But also after that, it's going to be a series of workshops geared toward children. The workshops are going to be broken down in age groups of the kids. So, you got your little pre-K kids won't be learning what the kids in high school are talking about. But they're going to have some informative workshops. And the workshops are going to be real. They're not going to be like little, tap dance on the information. But there are going to be a lot of workshops going on, and that's going to happen from that morning from 10 to about 4 will be all the workshops. After that, the kids will eat, and then after that, there's an activity that they're working on right now of having an activity for the kids. All day Saturday and all day Friday will be at the Killeen Community Center. Lavalis Hamilton, who's in charge of the community center, has graciously allowed the group to be there for the festivities, because it's all about the kids. For the adults, they do have a workshop for the adults. They had one last year, and they'll have a workshop for adults this year that are going to stay. They're going to be there. So there will be a workshop, and it'll be listed on the Facebook site pretty soon. The workshop that's for adults. Also, to go back on Friday. On Friday, they have a balloon release, and the balloon release is for all the children that have passed away this year due to violence. And so in Killeen, there's going to be a couple of groups representing in Killeen all the kids that have died of violence this year. So that will be there. That's going to be a balloon release for them. That'll be on Friday, and it's at 6 o'clock. And it's once again at the Killeen Community Center. So all groups can participate in the Friday. They can participate all weekend, but the Friday event for that, you have a group of kids that's going to represent the Killeen area to talk about how many kids. And they're going to have a poster of just all the kids' names, and they'll be able to do the balloon release and get all that done. But that's Friday evening. And like I said, then Saturday, they got workshops all day long. They do have breakfast, and they will serve a lunch. And the breakout sessions were last year were pretty good. In fact, and the kids enjoyed them, and they were all for their age groups. So like I said, remember, your kids will be broken up into age groups. So parents, sometimes you send your kids somewhere and you tell the bigger kid to watch out for the little kid. Well, they can't do that this time, because the kids are broken down by age groups, because each age group has something that they need to learn specifically for them. So that'll be done at that time. And we'll talk about that next week a little more as we get closer to the event. I'll bring you a little more information. Hopefully the lady who's in charge, Patricia, hopefully she'll have time to come down from Dallas, because the group headquarters is in Dallas. She'll have time to come down to talk to us about a little more the titles of the workshops and what they're doing. I know my task is, and if anybody's listening, whoever listening, if you have one, my task for Saturday the 20th is to get all the organizations that do things for kids. Not that you will do, but that you have activities for kids. You can be there with a table. Contact me. You can contact me on Facebook, Messenger, both Facebook, my name, Facebook, Phyllis Jones, Community Connections, Facebook page, or message me and let me know the name of your group and give me your contact information, and I'll contact you to have a table there, because we want to talk about all the groups and organizations that have something to do with our youth, so that our kids will know that there's other things to do. And if we keep them straight and keep them busy and keep them off the streets all the time, then maybe we can stop some of the violence that's going on right now with our kids. Well, I want to thank you this morning for listening to Kids Community Connections. And I want you to, there's something I do need for you to know. If ever you want to go and find any of my shows, you go to YouTube and go to Kids Community Connections 1031 on YouTube, and all my shows are there. So you can go back, listen to them, share them, and listen to them over and over again, or whatever you want to do, but they're there. But I want you to always remember, you cannot lead a positive life with a negative mind. We'll talk to you next Sunday. Bye.